Jai Hind, dear students. So, in our previous class, we studied about a very important life process, that is nutrition. Now, what is the importance of nutrition? Hope you all understood. One major use of it is to get energy from it. So, our next topic is how these nutrients provide energy to the organisms. What happens to it? Like if someone asks you, the nutrients are being absorbed in the body. Now these nutrients are going to burst inside the cell and the energy is going to release. No, it doesn't take place like that. There is a proper biochemical reactions takes place to release the energy from these nutrients. So our next topic, you must have guessed. Yes, it is correct. It is respiration. Respiration is a process by which organism produce energy to perform various functions. Now basically the nutrient glucose is considered to be the energy giving nutrient. But in the time of crisis, the other nutrients like amino acids and fatty acids can also release energy. So we can say a process that involves in the production of energy is called as respiration. If we have to define respiration, we can say respiration is a biochemical process where the living cells of an organism produce energy by taking in oxygen and liberating carbon dioxide from the oxidation of complex organic substances. Now here the complex organic substance is nothing but the glucose. Now the question is how the respiration can relate to breath. Suppose if I ask you to find out where a person is respiring or not, what you will do? You will just observe the movement in the body, the movement of the chest, movement of the ribs, and you will say, yes, the person is respiring. But dear children, actually you are wrong. The movement which are being shown in the body of an organism, that is because of the breathing. Now this respiration word is derived from a word called as respire. Now respire is a Latin word which means breath. Now you must have understood what is the relationship between the respiration and breath. But if we have to define breathing and respiration, then you have to say like this. The breathing is actually, it involves only the process of inhaling and exhaling the air in and out of the lungs. While breathing, oxygen is inhaled and carbon dioxide is exhaled. In other words, breathing is just a simple gaseous exchange between the environment and the organism, where the oxygen is being taken in by the organism and carbon dioxide is given out by an organism. Now, taking in oxygen is called as inhalation and giving out carbon dioxide is called as exhalation. Now, since it is taking place externally, so we call it external respiration also. But if you see, when we have to define respiration, then we have to see respiration is actually a metabolic process of breaking down of glucose from food to produce energy which is used by cells to carry out the cellular function. So the respiration is actually a biochemical process which is taking place inside the cell. Since it is taking place inside the cell, so we call it cellular respiration. So breathing and respiration, these are the two different terms. Breathing cannot be taken as a respiration, but breathing can be taken as a part of the respiration. So students, please be clear about it. Breathing is not respiration. Breathing is just a part of the respiration. Now, I just look at these two activities which are being displayed on the screen. Now the first activity, here you can see a tube which is having a lime water. Can you see the lime water in the tube? And this tube, there is a tube going inside, and through this one tube the oxygen is going in and another tube a boy is exhaling the air into it. Now after some time what you will observe, this lime water turns milky. Now this milky color or the milky nature of this solution is because of the conversion of lime water into calcium carbonate. Now this happens only when the carbon dioxide reacts with the calcium hydroxide, and this activity proves that during exhalation the carbon dioxide is released. Now look at the second activity. Here also one test tube. Can you see one test tube here? In this test tube a sugar solution or any fruit juice can be taken, and in this sugar solution we have to add the yeast. Now this test tube we have to make it airtight so that no air can pass through it, and a delivery tube is passed from this tube which is going in another tube having the lime water. Now here in this activity also you will find after some time the lime water turns milky. Now these two activities proves that whether the oxygen is taken by an organism or whether the oxygen is not present, one thing is common in both the activities is during exhalation carbon dioxide is released, which is turning the lime water milky. So on the basis of this, whether the oxygen is present or not present, the respiration can be divided into two types, and that is aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration means the respiration which is taking place in the presence of oxygen, where the glucose gets oxidized by oxygen and broken down into carbon dioxide, water plus energy. In anaerobic respiration, the oxygen is not required, and here the glucose is broken down into alcohol, carbon dioxide plus energy. So on the basis of this, we can say the different pathways of the cellular respiration can be of three types. Now in this diagram you can see a glucose which is a 6 carbon molecule. In the cytoplasm, this glucose breaks down into 2 molecules of 3 carbon molecule, that is called as pyruvate. Now this process is taking place in the absence of oxygen. The oxygen is not required for this breaking down of glucose to pyruvate, and this process is called as glycolysis. Now the fate of the pyruvate depends upon whether the oxygen is present or not present, or whether the oxygen is required or not required. Now in the absence of oxygen, the pyruvate breaks down into ethanol, that is alcohol plus CO2 plus energy. This process is generally done by yeast, and this is also called as fermentation, which can be defined as a enzymatic breakdown of a complex sugar or complex molecule into simpler form, releasing ethanol, carbon dioxide plus energy. In some mammals, or especially in human beings, the lack of oxygen sometimes happens, maybe because the oxygen is more required and the supply of oxygen is not sufficient. In that case, the muscle cells start doing the anaerobic respiration. Means the pyruvate breaks down into simpler form, and that is called as lactic acid, and release some amount of energy. This only happens in the muscle cells of the human beings. And in the presence of oxygen, the pyruvate completely breaks down into carbon dioxide plus water plus energy. Now this breaking down of the pyruvate in the presence of oxygen takes place in the mitochondria of the cell. So if you see, students, in this pathway, the pyruvate in the absence of oxygen is not breaking down completely. It's a partial breakdown of the pyruvate taking place. Pyruvate, which is a 3 carbon molecule, converting into the 2 carbon molecule, that is ethanol, C2H5OH. But in the presence of oxygen, the complete oxidation of the pyruvate takes place, and it converts completely into carbon dioxide plus water and energy. The anaerobic respiration takes place in the cytoplasm only, but the aerobic respiration means presence of oxygen when it is there, it always takes place in the mitochondria. Now one more difference is there between the aerobic and anaerobic is the amount of energy produced will be very less as compared to the aerobic respiration. In aerobic respiration, 38 ATP energy is produced, but in anaerobic respiration, only 2 ATP energy is released. Now you must be wondering, this is the whole pathway of the glucose. The glucose undergoing the process called as glycolysis. Now this glycolysis is actually the endothermic process where the energy is involved, energy is required, and converts it into pyruvate. The pyruvate goes in two pathways. One is fermentation and another is the oxidation of the carbohydrate. Fermentation can be of two types. It is lactic acid fermentation or ethanol fermentation. And then the Krebs cycle follows where the electron transport chain takes place and finally it releases 36 ATP or 38 ATP energy. Now, what is this ATP? You all know ATP is the energy currency. The energy is stored in the form of ATP. How does this ATP is formed? The ATP is actually formed by using the energy produced during the process of respiration, converting the ADP. ADP means adenosine diphosphate that combines with a phosphate molecule and forms ATP. ATP, the full form of ATP is adenosine triphosphate. Now this ATP remains or stored in the body. Whenever the energy is required, the terminal bond of the phosphate, it breaks down and releases energy that is equivalent to 30.5 kilojoule per molecule. And this released energy can be utilized by the organism for different types of the activities like the muscles contraction, for the nerve impulse transmission, for other purposes inside the body. Now we have discussed about the different pathways of the respiration and the difference between the aerobic and anaerobic respiration. I hope it is clear to you all.